Hi everyone, welcome back to today's video, and for today's video I'll be sharing with you guys on how to crochet this frog bucket hat. I've previously also made another form of frog bucket hat, and if you're interested, do visit the link in the description box below. To make this bucket hat, you would need green yarn, black yarn, white yarn and pink yarn, as well as crochet hook, crochet needle and scissors. So let's get started. To begin, we will make a magic ring, and we are going to do 6 single crochet into the magic ring. After tightening the circle, I would do a slip stitch in order to finish the first row. And then moving on to the second row, I'm going to do chain 1 followed by 2 single crochet into each stitch. So basically I'm doing 1, 2 for the first stitch and another 2 single crochet for the second stitch. And at the end of it, you would have a total of 12 single crochet for the second row. I would end the second row with a slip stitch, and then moving on to the third row, I will do a chain 1 followed by 1 single crochet in the first stitch and then 2 single crochet in the second stitch. So I would repeat 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, and in total there would be 18 single crochet for the third row. So I would end the third row with a slip stitch. And then for the fourth row, I'm going to do chain 1 followed by 1 single crochet in the first stitch and 1 single crochet in the second stitch and 2 single crochet in the third stitch. So I would repeat the pattern of 1 1 2 1 1 2. And for this row, I would have 24 single crochet in total. So I would end the fourth row with a slip stitch. Here I'm sharing with you guys the pattern for the body of the bucket hat from row 5 all the way to row 30. Remember to start each row with chain 1 and end each row with slip stitch. I'll meet you guys once you are done with row 30. If you would like to increase the size of the bucket hat, feel free to add additional single crochet after row 13. So if you notice, from row 1 all the way to row 13, the number of single crochet actually increases. So for row 14, you can do 1 single crochet for 12 stitches, followed by 2 single crochet in the next stitch. And then for row 15, you would do 1 single crochet for 13 times, that means to say for 13 stitches. And then you would do 2 single crochet in the next stitch. And after increasing the size of the bucket hat to what you would like it to be, you can just do single crochet for each stitch as per normal. So I would end row 30 with a slip stitch. And then for the brim of the hat, I'm going to do a chain 3 followed by 1 triple crochet in the first stitch. And then I'm going to do 3 triple crochet into the second stitch. So now I'm doing the first triple crochet, and then I'm doing the second triple crochet, and then now I'm going to do the third triple crochet. So over here there's a bit more yarn because I was connecting 2 yarns together as I didn't have enough yarn. But basically I'm doing the third triple crochet. And then in the next stitch, I'm going to do 2 triple crochet So this is the first triple crochet, and then I'm going to do the second triple crochet. And then for the next stitch, I would do 3 triple crochet. So it's basically just a repetition of 2 3 2 3 2 3 for the rest of the bucket hat. So I'm going to do a slip stitch to end the portion of the brim of the hat, and then I'm going to cut the yarn with a bit of length behind so that I can weave it in later on. So after the slip stitch, I'm going to do chain 1 and pull through the yarn. Make sure that there's actually enough yarn for you to do weaving in after this. So making the eyes of the frog bucket hat, I'm going to begin with a black yarn, and I'm going to do a magic ring with a 6 single crochet into the magic ring. After pulling tight the string in order to close the circle, I'm going to do a slip stitch in order to end row 1. And then for row 2, I'm going to do chain 1 followed by 2 single crochet into each stitch. So for row 2, you would have a total of 12 single crochet. So I would end row 2 with a slip stitch, and then what I'm going to do is to grab the scissors, and then I would cut the yarn with a bit of yarn left behind. And then now I'm going to switch color to the white yarn. And so I'm going to take the white yarn and to do like chain 1, and then I'm going to do basically tying up the black yarn and the white yarn together, the shorter ends together. And then I'm going to do 1 single crochet into the first stitch followed by 2 single crochet in the next stitch. So I'll repeat 1 2 1 2 using the white yarn, and in total I would have 18 single crochet for the third row. So I'm going to end the third row with a slip stitch, and then I'm going to take the scissors and again cut the white yarn with a bit left behind. And then I'm now going to change color to the green yarn, and so I'm going to do chain 1 with a green yarn, and then I'm going to tie the shorter end of the 2 colored yarns together, and I will do it 2 times so that it is quite tight. And then I'm going to do 1 single crochet into the first stitch using the green yarn, and then another single crochet in the second stitch followed by 2 single crochet in the third stitch. So I'll repeat 1 1 2 1 1 2, and in total there will be 24 single crochet. And so I would end the fourth row with a slip stitch, and then I'm going to do a chain 1, and then I would cut the yarn with a bit of yarn left behind. You would need quite a long bit of yarn because you would need to do weaving in and sewing in later on. And so I would recommend leaving around 50 to 60 centimeters of yarn. And then after cutting the yarn, I'm going to pull through the yarn. So after you're done, you're going to get the part of the eye that looks something like this. And then I'm going to weave in all the remaining bit of the yarn except for the long green yarn. So I will weave in the rest of the yarn into the eye. So I'm done with making the front part of the eye, and now I'm going to do the back part of the eye. So the pattern is similar to how we make the front part of the eye, but it's just that for the back part, we are going to use all green yarn. And remember to start each row with a chain 1 and end with a slip stitch. So I'm done with making the back part of the eye, and I'm going to do a slip stitch. And then I'm going to do chain 1. And then I would cut the yarn. I don't really need a long bit of yarn, just a short one will do. And then I will pull through the yarn and weave in all the remaining bits of the yarn. So you would have two such circles, the back part and the front part of the eye. And I'm going to sew the front part to the back part. And basically I'm going to join them together, and then I'm going to sew in the yarn, basically joining the two parts together. And so I have just joined the front part and the back part together, and then I'm going to continue attaching the eye to the body of the bucket hat. So I will attach the eye at around the 15th row from the top, and so basically the center of the eye will be at around the 15th row from the top. So basically for the sewing, I'm just going from the front to the back to the front to the back. And once I'm done sewing the eye to the body of the bucket hat, I would weave in the yarn into the bucket hat. And now for making the cheeks, you're going to use a pink yarn and follow the pattern as shown. Remember to start each row with chain 1 and end each row with a slip stitch. So after making 2 cheeks, I'm going to sew the cheeks to the body of the bucket hat as shown here. So making the smile of the frog bucket hat, I'm going to use a black yarn to find the middle point of the bucket hat. And basically this yarn will have a knot already that is at the end of the string. So as you can see here, I've already formed a knot earlier. And then I'm going to sew the smiley face onto the bucket hat. So I'm done with making the smiley face, but note that there is still like a bit of sharp ends, so I basically just add a bit more yarn in order to smoothen it out so that the smiley face doesn't look so jagged. After you're done with making the smiley face, remember to weave in all the yarns that is inside the bucket hat, and you are done with making it. So this is how the bucket hat would look like once you're done with it, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please remember to like and subscribe, and see you next time. Bye!